Welcome back to NSN Tonight, hanging out in our Legends Bay Lounge, powered by Circus Sports, and welcoming back our friend Payton Talbott, Reno's rising star in the UFC, getting set for an incredible opportunity. Payton, UFC 303, June 29th in Las Vegas. It's your first arena event, and I can imagine you are so hyped up.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm going to be a spectator and a fighter this night because I've never gotten to experience anything like it. So.
All right, you're taking on Yanis Ghemouri. He is a French-Algerian guy, a few years older than you. He's got a few more fights to his name. He's 12-2. You're 8-0. What can you tell us about Yanis in this matchup?
I think it's a good matchup. I'm excited to get my hands on this guy. I think he's going to try to box with me and kickbox a little bit, so it'll be an interesting fight to watch. And you guys know what happens when I like to kickbox. So.
Well, we saw what happened last time. Just a few months ago, we had you in shortly after you were able to knock out Cameron Simon at UFC Fight Night. Of course, a much bigger stage as we've talked about here. But what has life been like for Payton Talbott since that moment? Because it was such an impressive performance of the night, that the buzz was really growing overnight with you.
It's been pretty hectic. A lot of things have happened, and I'm just trying to soak it all up like a sponge and enjoy the entire process. But I mean, I get recognized everywhere now, and people are yelling at me when I'm walking on the street. So I love it. It's cool. That's
because they've seen you on Nevada Sportsnet also. Just kidding.
Yes.
I don't think that's why at all. It's because he is working his way up the MMA ranks in the bantamweight division. Tell me about the Reno Academy of Combat, because you get done winning on this huge stage and then you go right back to the gym and you're helping out other fighters. That's something you're very prideful about, and it sounds like more people are coming through those doors.
Yeah, we have a young team and it's growing very steadily, and there's more people in the gym every day, which is really cool to see. So it's rewarding going out and putting on a huge performance like that and then coming back and seeing the support and just the inspiration that other people gather from it.
Now that you're having so many more people recognize you and support you and want you to perform well, are you feeling pressure mounting up to put on for your gym, to put on for your city, to put on for all these people that have expectations of you?
No, nobody puts more pressure on me than myself. So I'm my own worst critic, but I just always put a lot of pressure on myself to perform, and I want to outdo myself every time. So.
All right, so getting ready for Yanis, what does a week-to-week training period look like? I mean, are you constantly training in between fights? Did you take some time off? How much are you focusing on him versus focusing on just yourself? I'm curious about all that.
Yeah, I like to train year-round, and I didn't really take much of a break after this last fight, aside from some traveling that I had to do for work stuff. But yeah, I try to, regardless of this next matchup, I try to continuously train year-round just to polish up my skills for any possible opponent. So a lot of it is just focusing on myself and some of my holes in my game. But I feel like if I keep making those milestones throughout my training career, then I'll be fine throughout the UFC.
A lot of people that follow the UFC and are fans or actually work around it, they feel like, I think the UFC wants to set you up to be kind of one of those next rising stars. Do you feel that you're being kind of put in a position to where if you perform, boy, there's going to be a lot of fun things that come with that?
Yeah, for sure. I think they see a lot of possibility with me and potential, but at the end of the day, you still got to get the job done. And I know after this fight, I'm probably going to get thrown to the wolves and thrown into a fire pit. So we'll see if I burn or if I'm able to rise.
We get to watch it all unfold in that bantamweight division. Obviously, no joke whatsoever. You mentioned traveling for work. One of those trips included America's finest city, San Diego, California. Tell us what you did in San Diego.
I got to hang out with Tony Hawk for the day.
Say it again. What's that name?
Tony Hawk.
As in the greatest skateboarder of all time.
Yes.
How did that happen?
He actually initiated it, and he asked the UFC to do some kind of content thing with me and his two sons that I have mutual friends with. So that was like a dream come true. For just to have him follow me and film me doing a skateboard trick is like, I'll always remember that moment.
You got to skate with Tony Hawk. As someone who was born in, 1998?
Yep.
That was like in the twilight of his career, but I know you're well aware of the figure that he is. What was it like to just be in his presence? How is he?
He's such a nice guy. He's so humble and just like meek, very soft-spoken, more than you would think. But he was just like so nice and welcoming, and he actually gave me a lot of tips and tricks to like help out some of the stuff I've struggled with in skateboarding, So
that's awesome.
That was
cool. Well, then if folks follow you, they know you love to skateboard. How was it like skateboarding in front of Tony Hawk, though? I mean, your legs wobble, you had the speed wobbles a little bit, or what?
Yeah, I was a little nervy at first, but just his calming presence was just, it helped out so much. Like I was nervous at first, and then I dropped in like once or twice, and he praised me and was like super surprised at how comfortable I looked, and he was like, that just gave me all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, I think you said something like, I feel like I'm in a fever dream.
Yes.
I'm never getting up. What a moment to hang out with Tony Hawk and create some cool content with the Birdman, Tony Hawk. All right, back inside the octagon. Tell us what, as you get ready to go to Vegas, next Tuesday you'll be there. What does, I guess, those few days look like? Maybe you can tell Payton's sort of conserving his energy right now because you're in the middle of a weight cut, and that'll only hit another level next week down in Vegas.
Yeah. So next week will be a lot of press stuff, a lot of sweating and getting this weight off. So I'll probably have to, lose anywhere from, 13 to 10 pounds.
Wow.
That week, and most of it will be like the last couple days. So that's mainly the main focus is just the weight, getting that off the last week.
What are you anticipating once you're back in that environment starting Tuesday down in Las Vegas? Because there's going to be a lot more people looking your way, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm just expecting a whirlwind of, obligations and emotions, and just people wanting, more out of me with the press. As well as, a tough weight cut that I have ahead of me, but I'll get it done.
A lot of things on your plate. How do you balance all that and maintain your sanity?
Oh, dude, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know.
Try to stay present, right? And just kind of let it come as it goes?
Yeah, I just try to enjoy the process and suck everything out of it, and that kind of gives me fulfillment.
Some of the things you've done in between fights, you launched some clothing. You've created more content. Just tell us about kind of some of the things you have moving outside of the octagon.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing more work with clothes, hopefully collaborating with this company called Tenori. They're going to give me some liberty in terms of creating and designing, which is cool. Pumping out more content on YouTube if you guys like that weird stuff. And just continuing to put my personality out there.
One thing we did not touch on, UFC 303 was previously one of the most hyped up cards ever, the return of Conor McGregor to the octagon, taking on Michael Chandler. We have since learned that McGregor has suffered an injury. They have had to postpone that fight. You were on the record saying you thought it was going to happen until it didn't. I guess maybe puts a little damper on things, but it doesn't really change anything for you, right?
No, not at all. My fight's still the same. I'm a little bummed out because I was really looking forward to being a part of that moment in history with Conor's comeback, but it's still going to be an awesome card, arguably maybe better because the two 205ers that are fighting it's going to be a great fight. So
that's the thing. They've since replaced it with some really good bouts. One thing I did want to ask you about before we let you go. So Yanis is known as the Desert Warrior, and so you're seeing his nickname plastered up everywhere, but then you see Payton Talbott, you do not see a nickname. Will there ever be a nickname added that Bruce Buffer can maybe rattle off inside the octagon one day?
I don't think so. I think my name is just enough. And I haven't heard anything that's really stuck. So maybe that's part of it, but I doubt it.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, you stand alone, and you've got a lot of things going your way anyways. I don't know if you need a nickname to be identified by. Payton, anything else you want to add for the folks out there before you get ready to rep the biggest little city down south at UFC 303?
Yeah, shout out to my gym, Reno Academy of Combat, and all my sponsors. Shout out to Tenori, Family First Chiropractic in Reno, best chiropractic if you're looking for one in town, and Pro Bar. I think that's it.
You got a lot of people taking care of you, man. You got a lot of people rooting for you, including all of us here at Nevada Sportsnet. Payton Talbott getting set to take on Yanis Ghemmouri at UFC 303. It's going down Saturday, June 29th, inside T-Mobile Arena. Payton, go get it done and stay unbeaten inside the octagon, my friend.
Will do.
Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're back right after this.